The next statement came from Baker, James Baker, the Secretary of State, who said, "We're not there for oil, we're not there to defend Kuwait, it's jobs. We're there for jobs." Then at a press conference, Bush said, and I quote, "Some people just don't get the message. It's not oil. It's not to defend Saudi Arabia, and it's not jobs. We're there to prevent this kind of naked aggression." Now, I submit to you that if the President of the United States and the Secretary of State don't know why the hell we're there, and they change their mind every minute, that none of the above is true. The truth is, a legal precedent has to be established that says that the United Nations is the ruler of the world. It has to be a legal precedent that all nation states submit to the will of the United Nations and give up their sovereignty to the United Nations and submit to the rule of the law of the world, which is the United Nations Charter and the resolutions passed by the United Nations. And the United States military is acting as the police force for the United Nations to establish that legal precedent. And Bush has said on television, "No nation can ever again stand against a world united. And if they try it, the same thing will happen to them." Margaret Thatcher was the last world leader who was opposed to the one world government, and she is no longer the Prime Minister of England because of that. I'm going to tell you now that the only obstacle to the New World Order coming together at this moment is the right of the American people to keep and bear arms. That is why there is such an effort to take your guns away from you. You see, the intent of the Second Amendment, the second article and amendment to the Constitution, was not so that we could go hunting. It was not to protect the possessions in your home or to protect you from burglars. The intent of our forefathers in establishing the second article and amendment to the Constitution was that as long as every American owned a weapon, whether they ever fired it or not, our government could never oppress us just with the knowledge that we all had that weapon in our closet. That's the reason. That's why every time you see a bill to take weapons away from the American people defeated in Congress, 4 more are introduced immediately. It's a never-ending battle. That's why they lie about the statistics. The truth is, in a town where everybody owns a weapon and everybody knows it, there is almost no crime. I'm going to show you this next videotape while you're thinking about that, to show you that these craft do in fact exist. This was taken above the Nevada test site. This is what's called a cigar-shaped craft. They are very large. They're also called motherships. Every time they're seen, except in this photograph, usually you see other smaller craft exiting and entering these craft, like scout ships or something. I don't know what you would call it. But it's absolutely incredible. This piece of footage you're going to see is so rare. I've only seen one other piece of film footage on this particular type of vehicle, and it wasn't even 1/3 as good as what you're going to see here. So what you're going to see is extremely rare, and you probably be a long time before you ever see any footage like this again. It's very difficult to get. Go ahead, there's no sound. Kill the lights, please. Now you can see the craft just below the tip of the white cloud. And if you watch, it's going to move from right to left and then turn into the clouds and disappear. We were approximately 15 miles from that location when this footage was taken. Which means that what you're looking at there is approximately 2 to 3 miles in length. That's very impressive, and to me it's very exciting that someone can make something that flies in the air that's 2 to 3 miles in length. That is the actual time that you see there. Those are the actual seconds passing. And it's almost gone now. Now it's into the cloud bank. You can stop the tape. Okay, if you'll turn on the slide projector, we'll get into some of these slides. I'm going to be going very fast through these slides. Some of you have seen a lot of them before. You're going to see some very startling information here. You're going to see some documentation that's going to prove to you that the government's been lying to you for many years. You're going to see some documentation that proves who I am and what I'm all about. After I left the military, ladies and gentlemen, in December the 11th, 1975, I attempted to leak the material that I knew to the press. I was attacked twice. I've lost my leg. I've had my skull caved in. I kept silent for 16 years, during which time I was the head of the Mixed Gas Deep Saturation Diving Department of the College of Oceaneering. I was the executive director of Adelphi Business College. I was the executive director of Pacific Coast Technical Institute, the executive director of the National Technical College. I was the national marketing coordinator for United Education and Software. And I owned a gallery and studio of fine art in Long Beach, California. Is it on?
It's on. Maybe you just go forward one.
I'm hitting it. Something's wrong. There we go.
You want to go forward?
That's the wrong. I want to go forward. There we go. Okay. This is a letter from Jim Joyner, who's the head of the Mixed Gas Deep Saturation Diving Department of the College of Oceaneering. And basically what he's saying in this letter is I worked for him, I was the head of the department, I was an instructor, and I'm a good guy. This is not working.
It's not?
Go ahead and push it. Just say forward and he'll push the button.
Okay. This is a piece of research that was done by Bob Exler. In his own research, he verified something that I had not told anybody, and that was that when I was with the Commander-in-Chief of the United States Pacific Fleet, I worked directly under Bobby Ray Inman. He verified all of this, verifies that I was there, and that I had reported seeing UFO-related documents under that command. And it goes through to outline Bobby Ray Inman's career path, which is incredible. He believes that Bobby Ray Inman is very much connected with the cover-up group, is one of those in the know, knows everything about the alien situation. Born April 4th, 1931, graduated from college at the age of 19 with the BA from the University of Texas in 1950. He entered the United States Navy in 1952, advancing to the rank of Admiral in 1981. 20 years after entering the Navy, he graduated from the National War College in 1972. He was the assistant to the Naval Attaché in Stockholm from 65 to 67, and no records are available for his service assignments from 68 through 71. From 72 to 74, he was assistant to the Chief of Staff of Intelligence Office of the